Hello everyone, today we are going to continue with the third part, which is booleans and conditionals. Let's get started. Booleans has two possible values, one is true and other is false. You have to write its first letter capital. To get the booleans, we can use equal, bigger than, bigger or equal to, smaller or equal to, smaller than or not equal to. You can see its representations. For example, in this function, it returns whether the age is bigger or equal to 35 or not. But when you make comparison in Python, it firstly make their type equal. For example, in here, 3.0 convert to 3 as integer, and they both become integer, and they compared. But it happens when it's both same type. For example, whether it both number or if both string. They do not compare between string and number, basically. Let's continue. We can combine as well. We can combine using and, or, and not operators. We have three operators. They are similar in logic, and is if both true, it returned as true. And or, if we have or value between two operators, if one of them is true, then it's true. The not makes it the opposite. So let's continue. As you can see in here, we have conditions: if, elif, and else. Elif means else if. First checks the if statement. If x equals to 0, do something. If it's not goes in here, it continues to elif x bigger than 0. But if it's equals to 0, it goes into first if, then it's finished its iteration. Don't go to other elifs. As you can see, there are some example if conditions. Also, we can have type conversion. To convert, if we have a string other than an empty string, it's evaluated as true. And if we have a number except 0, all evaluated as true. As you can see, if 0 means it's 0. If 0 means if false. So it doesn't go in any time because it's always false. Let's continue with the exercises. I couldn't reset the notebook, so it should have all the solutions as well. But after Python, I didn't do the course as well, so we will do together. Let's get started. Okay, we have to define a function sign which takes a numerical argument and returns -1 if it's negative, 1 if it's positive, and 0 if it's 0. First, I checked if a is bigger than 0, return 1. I can do here elif. It doesn't make sense because after if we have return, it makes it return from the function. It's both okay. For example, I can use both if, and if. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make any difference. Sorry, not make sense. We can do this. It should have this true as well. But if is always nicer because you solve the problem using one if only. Let's continue with the second question. We have to. Oh, it's the similar one. What is the difference in here? Return the number of leftover candies that must be smashed after distributing. Okay, in here, only difference is if the candy number is bigger than 1, it becomes candies, and if it's smaller than 1, it prints candy. For example, splitting 91 candies, but if I write to smash 1, it will become splitting 1 candy. The only difference is that they gave this exercise to make the print nicer. So let's continue. What is this? Okay, it's this one is to show. I showed it already. Okay, what is this? I said I'm safe from today's weather if I have an umbrella or if the rain isn't too heavy and I have a hood. Otherwise, I'm still fine unless it's raining and it's a work day. So we have to check all the conditions and write statements for them. First, sorry about that. I will continue in a bit.